So we got a Chevy Aveo in. I'm gonna be doing the strut install in here, checking some problems with the axles. He said it's making some clicking noises. Also, I'll be changing the valve cover gasket. So the parts needed for this project is a new gasket. We chose Felpro. Also some RTV, silicone sealant. You'll need a 3/8 drive extension, a 3/8 drive ratchet, a 10mm, a pick, a flathead screwdriver, some brake cleaner, pair of pliers, 5/8 spark plug socket to remove the spark plug. Now it's important to use a spark plug socket because regular sockets won't have this rubber grommet up inside of there. And if you don't use the spark plug socket and you snap your spark plug, that's porcelain. If that gets inside your cylinder, that could lead to catastrophic failure. So make sure to use a spark plug socket anytime you're removing spark plugs. So let's go ahead and get this project started. I already inspected this part. This thing had a massive leak. That's not bad right there at all. This thing was leaking everywhere. So I'm assuming it's the valve cover gasket, which I know that's bad, but it could be something else as well. So we're gonna start by changing the valve cover gasket. I've already changed out I pressure washed the engine, and you want to do that while it's running. So I already got that done. So I'm gonna go ahead and remove these with a 10mm, and you can see, look at that. You can't even see the spark plug. See oil everywhere. Wow, same thing. Let's see what else is in here. Oh my God, I'm surprised this thing wasn't misfiring. That's crazy. Oh, we got another one. Damn, this one's even worse. Yep. Before we get done with this job, we're gonna go ahead and clean these boots with some contact solution cleaner. We're gonna remove these two hoses right here. We also have a sensor back here that we'll have to remove. So you just stick a screwdriver in there and pry that together. Now we're gonna go ahead and take this valve cover off. Oh, I forgot to take that one off, didn't I? So when you do that, you don't want to crush it down. What you simply want to do is grab the hose and wiggle it to break it loose. All right. So now we're gonna get this valve cover off. There we go. Flip over here. And we have it off. Okay. So, as you can see, that snapped off right there. This thing is so crispy. Look at this. Look at that. That's fucking crispy. It's not supposed to be like that. It should be latex like a condom. Or rubbery. All our bolts from the valve cover are gonna go in here. There's a 10mm bolt right up in the magnet pan. While we're up top, what I like to do is go ahead and grab a napkin, a shop towel, and clean this. Don't wipe into the engine. So when you're wiping, you kind of want to pull back out. You don't want that stuff getting inside your motor. You also want to get this area right here. All right, up. We're gonna make sure we remove this old silicone from here as well. Oh, pretty good. We can hear the slots in it. Take some valley and stuff. Take time. Make it all nice. This is the area that leaks the most. This is the lowest point of the valve cover, so this area leaks the most. After you do that, you're gonna take some brake cleaner and a new shop towel. What I like to do is spray a little bit on there. You don't gotta get crazy, just a little bit. And you're gonna clean this area where the new gasket is gonna go. That way you make sure you got a nice seal. So now we have our new gasket right here, Felpro. Be careful when you open these boxes up. You don't want to slice your new gasket in half. So let's show the difference between these ones. You see how pliable this is? Look at this. You see that? And then we'll go ahead and look at this one. It breaks. As soon as it just snaps. See that? Look at that. So that one's done. This gasket, wow, oh my God. This is gonna be hard to get out. So we're gonna have some issues removing this one out. It's just snapping in pieces right now. This is bad. This is not gonna seal anything. And this is why I had that issue. So we're gonna use our pick, because it's crispy as hell. I mean, you see that just snapping. We're gonna take our brake cleaner. We don't really need to clean inside of here. We just want to get around the parts that we're gonna put the gasket in. So, and this one's out. Well, I could use it on here though. All right, so go ahead and take your brake cleaner, pinch it and get it inside of here. Give it a nice good clean. This is important that you clean this out well for the next steps. So make sure you clean this out good, or else you'll have problems with the next step. So you gotta pause the video and make sure you clean it. Go ahead and pause the video until you get it nice and clean. Now that that's all clean, we're gonna go ahead and take our new gasket. But before we do that, we're gonna take some black RTV sealant. And we're gonna put it in the corners. Just a little dash in the corners. Right here. What this is gonna do is help the gasket stick in place when you flip it upside down. This area is out. Same place. So at this point in time, we'll install the gasket. And remember the orientation. So it goes like this. Nice. Alright, now that we have our gasket in place, just run your fingers along it. Make sure everything's settled like it should. Okay, looks good. When you're applying the valve cover back onto the engine, take a little RTV sealant and stick a little dab up in these corners. They're known for leaking, so not much, but just a little dab up in that corner. Same for right here. You just want a little light coating right here. And what you're looking for is about a 1 to almost 2 millimeter thickness of RTV right there. You don't want to overdo it. You just a 1 to 2 millimeter thickness. So here's what our valve cover looks like. We got the RTV on the engine head, the cylinder head. We're just gonna go right here. Also, we have the RTV on the cylinder head in these areas because they're known to leak. So this is good to place back on the engine now. When you do it, make sure everything is seating properly before you tighten it down. You kind of give it a nice little wiggle. Not too much, you don't want to knock anything out of place, but a nice press down. So while we have those back down in place, we're gonna go ahead and take the O-rings out right here, and we're gonna put the new O-rings in right there. These were also hard and crispy. You can see how that's flat and that's round. I don't know if you can see it, but O-ring isn't supposed to feel all crispy. It should be feeling nice and round and fluffy. So what we're gonna do with the bolts is load them up from the center first. We're not gonna torque them down. We're gonna get them snug. And you want to go here, here, back out to here, and then here. Alright. So now, after you did that, we want to make sure we torque these down to OEM specification. So however Chevy wants it torqued down, that's what we're going to torque them down to. So that leaves us with the problem with the oil still trapped inside of the spark plug holes. What I like to do is take my large screwdriver and kind of a dirty rag and go ahead and just stick that in there. Press it down for a second. Just let it sop it all up. You can see it's clearing it up right now. So go ahead and stick that in there. Let it sop it up. This feels like a problem. Feels like someone put that in there wrong. I don't even want to touch that one, to be honest. This one feels good. So I'll pull the plug and you can see there's still a lot up in there. You see that? And we'll clean these spark plugs off as well. Look, you spark too. Alright, you see that? File down. So, get something in. Look good. Boom. Wow. Look at that. That is horrible. That's horrible. Okay. Oh man, look at that. Wow. That's the spark plug too. I don't know, maybe the spark plug that's in there. They don't gave my mouth. But you that's horrible. Look at these things. We're gonna try this. Here's one again. I'm gonna see. I'm gonna try. Alright. If that's wrong, never spin it. I'm doing my hand, we'll let that get out. Alright. Same thing, guys. Alright. Definitely time for a new shop towel. We wore that one out. It's got a new one up in there. Not bad. All right. Okay, now that we have everything in place, we're gonna clean up the residual oil that was left on the valve cover. We're gonna put the spark plug wires back in order. This is cylinder 1. These are labeled, so that's kind of cool. This is cylinder 2. So all the way back to cylinder 2. Cylinder 2. Cylinder 3. And cylinder 4. Don't forget to connect your breather hose lines back, which will be up here. And this one. As well as what I believe is a crank position sensor. I'm sorry, a camshaft position sensor. All right, everything's snug, oil cap snug, everything looks good. And we're gonna go ahead and fire it up. Clear all your tools out the way. And that's how you fix a leaky valve cover on a 2008 Chevy Aveo LS. So if you find this video helpful, please comment, like, and subscribe. Thank you for watching, guys. I appreciate it.